Detroit Become Human has been a bit baffling ever since it was first announced, but we've had literally years now to get used to the unique weirdness that seems to be a staple of games made by Quantic Dream. Every time we see Detroit Become Human hit the news, some other new mind-boggling fact has been brought to light, which brings us to the subject of this video. Welcome to the Leaderboard, I'm your friend Pat, and this is 9 mind-blowing facts about Detroit Become Human. The game has been in development since 2012. While buzz around the game has only really started up in the last year or so, the game was first announced way back in October of 2015 during Paris Games Week. The game then got picked up for trailers at E3 in 2016 and 2017. Detroit is the latest project from game director David Cage and builds on his work from the massive story-intensive blockbuster games Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. The first trailer for the game featured android Kara, played by actress Valerie Carrie, and while it did get a ton of notice at the time, the proper Detroit Become Human hype train didn't start until the game hit E3 2017, where it was playable for the first time, and Cage's love of expansive and extremely expensive-looking apartments reared its head again. While the game started out as a tech demo featuring Valerie Carrie playing Kara, director David Cage quickly saw the potential for a fully fledged game. Cage has been working on the game since the demo's completion, with production starting in earnest in early 2013, including Carrie staying on the project as Kara. So basically, developer Quantic Dream has been working on Detroit for over 6 years. That's 6 full years of coming up with new and exciting ways to introduce David Cage as an in-game character. Speaking of all that development time, it took David Cage and lead writer Adam Williams over 2 years to write the script for Detroit. The script totaled somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 pages. For reference, Stephen King's epic The Stand is only 823 pages, while the entire Lord of the Rings series, including The Hobbit, is 1,545. Add the Silmarillion and you get 1,910 pages, meaning Detroit Become Human is longer than all of the major works of J.R.R. Tolkien. Bilbo is shook. If I were Frodo, I would be pretty threatened right now. To write the script, Cage used charts and diagrams to plot out all the choices in order to see where the storylines would eventually end up. He also claims to have written 5,000 or 6,000 pages of notes on the story and likened it to a Rubik's Cube. It actually seems to me more like those horrible mega cubes that have more faces than can be counted with normal numbers. But not every scene Cage wrote made it in the game, which is probably for the best since I see myself burning out around hour 200. At least 2 scenes were cut from the final script for their lack of clarity in how violence was depicted. However, because of the branching style of the narrative, no player will actually have to sit through all 2,000 pages of script in one playthrough. Play Detroit enough to get all the endings though, and you might just see everything that Cage and Williams wrote. How all this will translate to an average playtime, we just don't know yet. But you can expect this game to be pretty lengthy, especially if you're a completionist. Motion capture footage was finished in February of 2017. The development process on Detroit has been very lengthy, from the epic script to the long development shelf life, so naturally the motion capture portion took a while to wrap as well. According to Quantic Dream and actress Valerie Carrie, the motion capture footage was completed in February of 2017, meaning it took roughly 4 years to complete. Filming also wrapped just in time for Carrie's birthday. So cute. So we've mentioned the script once or twice already, and how hilariously long it is. The reason it's hilariously long? Because the game forces players to make a ton of choices. Granted, that's something we're all excited for, but it's also a concept we've seen in plenty of other games. Until Dawn comes to mind as one of the more notable recent titles. Detroit takes this concept to a whole nother level with some butterfly effect levels of complexity with the sheer number of branching narratives possible. At the end of a scene, you can actually see the paths your choices would have unlocked, so you get a real feel for exactly how many ways the scene could have evolved, and exactly how many things you totally missed. Not all choices end with vastly different outcomes, but there's a shockingly wide variety of possibilities for the choices to make in-game, as we've seen in several trailers. Quite a few of the choices in Marcus's trailer seem to end up in similar positions, but there are definitely some extremes. You can even push your android over the emotional edge, if you really want to, and we know that you want to. But you do want to be careful because make the wrong choice and you could cause bystanders to die right alongside you, which is probably not what you're aiming for, I hope. After all, this is a Quantic Dream game, so you've always got to watch out for the unintended consequences of your actions, which means it might be a good idea to keep a close eye on that end-of-scene recap chart. Just based on all the stuff I personally missed in the demo, I feel like there's going to be quite a number of ways for things to go terribly wrong. So no one is going to make you play Detroit over and over, but you'll be missing out if you don't. Detroit Become Human might be full of complex choices, but there is a choice that's really easy. Enter our weekly console giveaway. To enter, go to leaderboard.nyc/giveaway and log in with virtually any internet account. For your best chance to win, you're going to want to subscribe to the Leaderboard on YouTube and sign up for our email updates. You can also follow us on social media and tell your friends about the giveaway for even more chances to win. Detroit has 3 playable characters. Normally a game will give you 1 protagonist, sometimes 2. Detroit Become Human gives you 3, which is pretty unique in general, but also makes it a first for developer Quantic Dream. Now, we know quite a bit about the first protagonist, Kara, as she's been featured in several trailers now. Kara is an android that had to be reset and so has an artificial consciousness as a result. During the game, she's attempting to live an everyday life with her foster family, where she helps look after a young girl named Alice. Kara is looking for her place in a world where all androids are used as servants. The second character, Connor, might as well be a certain handsome Blade Runner protagonist. His job is to track down rogue androids, but twist, he is an android himself. So he's pretty sympathetic to the androids he hunts down. What a novel idea that is definitely not a well-established sci-fi trope. I can just see Philip K. Dick's lawyers filing the lawsuit now. A large part of Connor's story is based around him trying to free the other androids from their servitude to the humans. And lastly, we have Marcus. He's in a similar situation as Kara, but much less happy about it. And Marcus is actively trying to escape his foster family. While we don't know for certain whether or not these 3 characters meet up in the game, I can imagine ways their paths could overlap. Marcus wants a way out of his domestic confinement, which means he's likely to go rogue and be hunted down by Connor. As for Kara, well, we do know how she might escape her foster family thanks to the Paris Games Week 2017 trailer. Yeah, that trailer that tells us a whole lot about Kara's background also stirred quite a bit of controversy from children's campaigners and a member of UK Parliament, because it prominently features a scene of child abuse, which escalates to murder. Kara, who has just returned from being reset, is placed in charge of Alice, who is then attacked by her father, Todd Williams. As the trailer is designed to show the many ways Kara can intervene in the scenario, there is one possibility where Todd chases Kara and Alice picks up his gun and shoots him. In another possibility, we watch Kara and Todd stand over what appears to be Alice's corpse. While Quantic Dream wanted the trailer to show a very important moment in Kara's story, as it is a moment of personal growth for her, the general public wasn't quite so pleased. After all, child abuse is a touchy subject, and the trailer was destined to make some people uncomfortable. Part of the reason Detroit Become Human has taken so long to finish development is because the game required Quantic Dream to create a whole new engine to provide the advanced features Cage's script required. Things like dynamic lighting, shading, bokeh, new rendering techniques, and physical cameras were all required to make Detroit the game it is today. And back in 2012, there really wasn't an engine capable of handling all that. And then when Mark Cerny, the lead architect of the PlayStation 4, came to evaluate the game for a PS4 release, Quantic Dream decided to improve their engine's depth of field to further complement the game's stunning cinematography. The decision to build their own brand new engine rather than modding an existing one took a lot of time, but what we've been able to see, it was a fantastic decision. Detroit Become Human looks as advanced as its android protagonists. Bonus fact! All that futurism had to come from somewhere, and David Cage took inspiration from Ray Kurzweil's The Singularity is Near, When Humans Transcend Biology, which was published in 2005. Kurzweil's non-fiction book is about the possibilities of artificial intelligence, and Kurzweil himself is both an inventor and futurist, making this some rather cutting-edge AI theory, especially when you consider the game started development shortly after the 2012 tech demo Kara was released. In the book, Kurzweil describes his law of accelerating returns, which predicts an exponential increase in technology, including computers, genetics, nanotech, robotics, and artificial intelligence. Kurzweil considers the singularity to be the point at which machine intelligence and humans merge. Once that point has been reached, Kurzweil asserts that machine intelligence will be infinitely more powerful than all human intelligence combined. Basically, AI will be smarter than humans, and then one day will merge with us. So naturally, David Cage took that and ran with it, which is why here we have androids rebelling against the rule of humanity as they become something more human themselves. The title is starting to make more sense now, isn't it? While Cage and Williams didn't consult with experts in AI to figure out what advancements in Detroit would be most feasible, Cage still held the reins when it came to his futuristic AI tech. Therefore, in Detroit, androids were designed with reference to artificial organs, how their energy would be generated, and with human eye movement. This makes them rather human-like in structure as well as consciousness once the androids start to experience emotions, which appears to be the impetus for the android revolution in Detroit Becoming Human. Hey, thanks for checking out our Detroit Become Human video. Let us know how we did in the comments, because despite what David Cage might think, we are not all androids, and we probably missed something. Are you going to be playing David Cage bingo when you play Detroit Become Human? Because I am, and I'm going to see if I can go clinically insane and beat it in 24 hours. Thanks for checking out the Leaderboard, your home for video game facts. Hit subscribe, and if you think we're cool, then hit the bell icon. That'd be nice.